Shalom, shalom. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, to the 144,000 elect men, and to the 1/3 of Israel, men, women, and children that are coming back to these law, statutes, and commandments in these last days. So, I wanted to do a video on this new trailer that came out on Netflix. This is this new show that came out yesterday, called Messiah. And as you can see, now that we're in 2020, right out the gate, Hollywood produces another series through Netflix regarding the end times. So first, we're just going to start out by watching the whole trailer, and then afterwards we can get into some scriptures.
He's come out of nowhere and we don't know who he is.
What do we know about him?
He's leading desperate people.
So this is a cult?
We don't know who he's associated with. He could be creating an army. Or he could be leading them to their death.
What are you doing in Syria?
Delivering a message.
A message from whom?
My father.
And who is your father?
Who's lost it?
What do you mean?
He just disappears.
No one just disappears.
We all witnessed a miracle.
He saved my daughter's life.
You need to see this.
Bury it for as long as you can. He didn't just click his heels and end up here. He clearly had help. You get around Syria, Israel, Texas.
It's the nature of my work.
And what is that work?
God's work.
Who do you think he is?
You didn't see what I saw.
And if I did, would I be calling him the second coming?
How far will this new movement spread?
I'm going to find out everything about you.
This is bigger than what you can imagine.
All right, so there's quite a bit going on in this video. As you can see, this takes place in 2019, and that just goes to show that we know and they know that we are at the end of this thing. And here comes a mysterious person who is leading a group of 2,000 people, and that group, which they refer to as a cult, just keeps getting bigger. And that goes hand in hand with us brothers and sisters who are in the truth, because we're no longer a part of this world as far as the way we conduct ourselves, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and observing the high holy days. And to the worldly people, a lot of times they want to refer to us as a cult because they, number one, they simply don't know the law, statutes, and commandments. So the things that we're doing, it seems like it is a cult. And this happened before. So let's go to Acts 24 and 14. All right, this is Acts 24 and 14. But I confess unto thee that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the God of my fathers, believing all the things that are written in the law and in the prophets. So Paul is saying here, while he was on trial, that those things that these people are calling heresy and if you look in the New Living Translation version, they actually use the word cult, and in the other versions they use the word sect. So heresy, cult, sect are all synonymous for the same thing, right? People were seeing whatever he was doing as heresy because they were following Christianity. They were following all these pagan holidays that came after the Renaissance that was being pushed through the Roman Catholic Church. So when Paul comes on the scene, the things that he's doing seems as if it's heresy. So if people are following you in your heresy, or what they see as heresy, you're going to be referred to as a cult. And that's exactly how us as a people are looked at right now in 2019. So it already starts from the jump, referring to these people that are following this man as a cult. That's the first thing. The second thing is, this man is actually walking the earth, right? He's walking the earth, and that's not biblical, because the man who we ignorantly call Jesus Christ, the true Messiah, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, when he comes back, he's not going to be walking the earth. All right? When he comes back, he's coming back with fire. All right? He's coming back for destruction. He's already walked the earth and sown what he needed to sow. So there's not going to be some mysterious pop-up of someone who is actually the Messiah doing the groundwork all over again. The groundwork has already been done, right? So that's the other thing that they're trying to implant into this series, is that when the Messiah comes, he's going to be, walking hand in hand as in the form of a man. And that's just not biblical. So let's go to, let's see here. I want to go to 1 John 4:1. Right? This is 1 John 4:1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Right? So there's going to be a time where, people are going to come into that spirit, and who knows? I mean, that time is actually happening now. I mean, there's false prophets going out in the world right now, and they have followers, and they have doctrines, and they have things that they are teaching people, and people are following them, right? But as we get closer and closer to the actual precipice of this whole entire thing, who knows? There might be people who have some type of mysterious or false sense of spiritual power that might convince people to follow them, more so than they would follow, someone who is, a content creator of a YouTube channel, right? So this precepts well with Matthew 24 verse 4. Let's go get that. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahushua, and shall deceive many. Right? And then we're going to jump down to verse 24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. Right? For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So this is not something that we should be looking for happening on the earth, right? When the Most High comes, it is going to be like the sun is rising, right? When the sun is rising, all that light pours in out of the horizon, right? And that's the same manner in which the chariots are going to be arriving. It's going to look like, you know, they are rising with the sun, because every man on earth is going to be able to see it. Just like how every man is able to see the sun, that's how every man, woman, and child is going to be able to see the second coming, right? It's not going to be through some covert operation of Yahushua doing groundwork here. He's already done that, right? The other thing I wanted to point out is that the man who they are portraying in this TV show looks like he is, you know, he could be Ishmael or Elon, right? I watched a little bit of the first episode, and he is speaking Arabic, right? So I think he might be an Elamite, right? And that's just another form of deception, because they're really saying that when the Messiah comes, he's going to look like an Elamite or, you know, or Arabic. If y'all have been watching some of these camp videos, you know, a lot of times people, when they're being asked, you know, what color is Christ, they won't say he was black, but they won't say he was white either. But they'll say, you know, he might have been Arabic, he might have been somewhere in between, right? So this movie is already catering to people who know that Yahushua is not white, but he can't be black, right? So this is the image of, I guess, the revamped image of Yahushua in this movie, right? So-called Elamite. So if you get too engulfed into the show, then you might be looking for someone who comes out of Elam to save you on earth, and then you're gone after that. You're deceived, right? And the fact that, you know, the so-called CIA or FBI or whatever is tailing this guy, you know, that's, you know, what this scripture is talking about, right? If they're saying he's in the desert, and there's clips of him being in the desert, right, performing miracles in the desert, then we shouldn't believe him, because Yahushua is not going to be out here performing miracles and trying to gain followers, right? Boots are already on the ground, right? Through the elders, through the brothers that are on the highways and byways doing the work and bringing Israel in, and also making videos, and the sisters helping raising up the nation, making garments and doing all the things to further this truth. That's the groundwork that's already being done right now, right? And it says in verse 24 that at the end it says, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And why is that not possible? Because we're not looking for Yahushua to be walking around and paying us personal visits, right? And holding camp with us, right? And we know that if anybody's going to come in the name of the Most High, they're going to be keeping these law, statutes, and commandments first and foremost. So whether they're performing miracles or not, they could be turning water into wine. But if they're not coming with thus saith the Lord, shalom. Point blank, period. But as you can see, by being invested in a TV series, a lot can happen. A lot can happen if you're not in the truth, right? As much as this, but this show actually is revealing a lot, because as you can see, the demonization's in there. You see they lock this man up several times trying to figure him out. As you can see, the powers that be, they have their, their technology, their face scans, and they're trying to match him with other individuals who may be, I guess domestic terrorists or what have you, since they're pushing that agenda, right? They're doing all these things, they're locking them up, they're showing you the type of things that are going to be going on in these last days, right? Because they're all going to be locking brothers up for this truth, and they're going to start associating, they've already started associating, certain keywords with things that don't even relate to them, right? They're trying to call Yahushai's name anti-Semitic, and there's no anti-Semitism anywhere in that, but they're trying to push that narrative, so when that time comes, they can make their case for wanting to lock anybody up, right, who may be associated with the Black Hebrew Israelite movement that they created, right? Another thing I wanted to point out is the only difference between this trailer and the truth is that they don't know who we answer to, because if you have every organization, every business, every type of functional body has someone at the top that is in charge, right? Every business has a president. Every cartel has a cartel leader or mob boss, or every organization has a head at the top, right? And being in the truth, as an Israelite, there's many camps. There's many different organizations, there's many different people that are in the truth. And it seems like we are just one big organization. They want us to be just one big organization because that's how everything else in the world works. But the problem is they don't know who is at the top of the organization. They don't realize that the person that we are answering to is Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, who is not on the earth as we speak, right? His spirit is on the earth through all of you brothers and sisters and children who are pushing this truth, but he physically is not on the earth. So there's no way to tie all these camps, all these people in the truth under one umbrella, because it just doesn't work the same way everything else does, right? But in this trailer, they're able to do that because they have an actual figurehead who they are calling the Messiah, who is, playing out a similar story of the type of things that you would expect to happen in the end times. The only difference is he's actually walking on the earth, and he's somebody that they can go after, right? So that's all I really wanted to go into as far as this this movie series is concerned. I'm definitely gonna watch the rest of it, and I guess we can close out with Isaiah 66 and 15. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. So that's how the Lord is going to be coming back. He's coming back with chariots, whirlwinds, fury, and flames of fire. Okay? When you see when you actually see Yahushua, it's going to be too late. All right? Unless you're in the truth, right? Because we'll have that blanket of protection, and hopefully, Lord willing, we get beamed up while all that's happening, right? When we see the Lord, it's going to be in the air. But when they see the Lord, it's over. They're going to see fire. All right? Lord willing, I hope you all were edified. Of course, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Shalom.